Greetings and peace to you all. Thank you guys for joining me again for another video. And I wanted to touch briefly on contradictions in the natal chart. I know I've done quite a few sessions where people have felt utterly disappointed, frustrated, just overwhelmed at observing certain contradictions in the natal chart. So what we are speaking of here is, let's say, for example, you're in Aries, Aries rising, and you have Libra moon sign, and you have a lot of planets in Libra. And so you can kind of go through life where a part of you is assertive and it's about the self and it's about exerting yourself and being decisive and taking the lead. But then on the other hand, you find that you compromise in relationships, or people don't take you seriously, or you just find that you can't be decisive when it matters most. So it feels like there's a contradiction. You're like, well, who am I? You know, which way am I supposed to go in terms of just my personal development? And when you read these things in your natal chart, it can be frustrating. So what I want to say first off is that your natal chart is not law. It is not the Bible. It is not something that you have to strictly adhere to as if this is my fate, this is my destiny, these are the cards that's laid out for me, this is it. Certainly there are many opportunities for growth, spiritual development, maturity as we just live life. So whether you had access to your natal chart or you discovered astrology or not, we are absolutely here to learn through our life experiences and by just living and observing ourselves and developing our character through what we observe, you know, our interactions with others, our relationships, our time spent in solitude. So when you keep that in mind, it kind of liberates you a little bit from this notion that that things are fixed for you, that this is just the way it is. And you'll find the need to reconcile within yourself with these energies that are seemingly contradictory or are at odds with each other. So if you have a lot of oppositions and squares, if you go online and you read about this stuff, it can really paint a very bleak picture about your life, because oppositions and squares just seem to come with a lot of issues and challenges and trouble and, you know, just things that we have to put up with and deal with. And it can really be overwhelming because you think that this is it, you know, like, oh, I got to deal with this stuff. And that's not true. The more that you learn and develop and you see how to reconcile again with these influences, then this gives you a bit more mastery and a bit more power, just in terms in how you project yourself, how you live your life, and just how you understand yourself. So Sun opposition to Saturn, you know, this seems like a very powerful opposition where people can just deal with conflict of power struggles and, you know, feeling as if they want to be independent and exert themselves and kind of be free from authority figures, but it always seems like you run into problems either with the law or your father not supporting you, or, you know, you go through school and your professors or instructors aren't taking you seriously, and there just seems to be something that blocks you. And a part of that has to do with how you are understanding your own personal power. So this opposition can be teaching you how to develop your personal power so that you can be heard. So initially you may run into difficulties where you're having said experiences and you're accepting it as if, oh, my life is hard, when really no, these experiences are intending to help you to see how important personal power is, how to step up, how to surrender at times, how to relinquish your power in order to learn and just, you know, simply say, okay, well, I don't have much power in this situation, but I understand what I'm learning from this experiences, or how humbling it is for me. Because we also have to recognize that our natal chart is a progressive thing, and if time spent in the past or past lifetimes, if you're someone who believes in such things, you maybe were a very arrogant person, got your way all the time, dominated others, you dictated things, you were very dogmatic. So then this life experience now, it's very humbling when we're not in positions of power, where we have to surrender and just, you know, have someone else take the lead. But as you get older and you mature, then you'll realize that you will start to slowly regain that sense of power the more you respect the lessons that have come with how life has been for you, as uncomfortable or challenging as it may have seemed. So these seemingly contradictions are lessons for us. It's a way for us to observe ourselves, to develop and refine our character. So that way, as we do move more into adulthood, because if you're in your late teens, you're in your early 20s, and you're looking at your natal chart and you're seeing these challenges, I certainly am not going to sugarcoat things and say, oh, you know, by the time you're 25, you got this coming, you're going to have a great career, you're going to be so popular, because that absolutely may not be the case. It may not be until you're 35 or 40 years old that, or older, that, you know, certain opportunities manifest for you, better relationships manifest for you, a more sound understanding of your own personality and character starts to really take shape. So these things just naturally are going to come with life and just life lessons. I feel the astrology is merely a tool, it's a science, it's a resource for many people in understanding themselves and unlocking their potential. But unless you are actually understanding these lessons for what they are and applying them to your life, you're not going to have any instant, change or turnaround in your life experience. So the years I spent in my 20s trying to figure out this, crazy, contradicting placement of my North Node in the 4th house and Pluto in the 10th house of career, and the strong desire I have for independence and to go off and do my own thing, and for power in the career sector. I understood that my North Node was saying, no, you need to be in the home and tend to everyone's emotions, and I was like, boring, I don't want to do that. And so I really resisted that, and I kept running into blockages and challenges. And so I finally surrendered. And then I realized, well, I'll have to find a way to combine the two. I'll have to find a way to still have a measure of independence or earn money or have a career within the home, as well as tend to my home, work in the home, make my home a place of, where I'm the authority here. And so interestingly, this is how my life experience is beginning to unfold for me, and I'm in my 30s. And so these things didn't come right away just because I read about it when I was 22. I still was resistant. I still was trying to do things my way. And in looking at the astrology as a guide, I see that I was intended to really learn or figure this out earlier, but I didn't. It took a while before I accepted it, and then started to integrate this newfound knowledge into how I can use my understanding of the astrology and just kind of create a balance. And oftentimes people with the most challenges in terms of squares and oppositions, these are people who go on to have positions of authority, people who are very prestigious, people who are famous, because they had to go through a lot to get there. How many rags to riches stories have we heard about from people who are now, celebrities? How many stories have we heard about from people who come from nothing and they're in positions of great power? So those challenges really serve you. It's usually the sextiles and trines that can tend to make us a bit lazy in terms of spiritual progress, because things just kind of come a bit too easy for us. You haven't had many challenges. You could practice any religion or spirituality you wanted and nobody challenged you. If you wanted to quit your job, there was always someone there to support you, help you pay your bills. Like, if life has just always been so easy and you haven't met any real challenge, you can tend to plateau. These individuals do tend to plateau. They find a nice, comfortable space to just be, and there's no progress. But the challenges and the inner conflict is what helps us to really dig, to try to understand who we are, to really understand, what is this all about? Why did I have that early childhood trauma? Why did I have to go through this, or this? Why am I always meeting resistance? We're really searching for the answer within ourselves. But when things are rolled out for you and answers are provided, there's really not much, there's not much you're seeking. It's almost as if things are already there for you. So trines and sextiles and these wonderful, placements are great. Those harder conjunctions and just contradictory energies and placements, North Node and 10th house and, 1st house and 7th contradict. It's just that challenge that you need in order to grow, to evolve, to mature, and to really refine your character. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Rest assured, you are not alone. Many, many, many people feel this way who are exploring their natal chart, studying astrology. They may feel like, what's this all about? So you're not alone. We'll get through this. If you're interested in scheduling a personal session, that information is in the description. I would love to build with you, or just send me an email. That is also available through the website. So thank you guys for joining me, and until next time, peace.